He thinks it is the best food in the world. So again, good in its superlative form becomes the best. And bad in its superlative form becomes the worst. So now we need to look at another irregular adjective. It is far. Opposite of close, far. Take a look at your screen. Far becomes farther than or further than in the comparative form. And far becomes the farthest or the furthest in the superlative form. So comparing something to a group of things. Okay, now look at some examples of this new irregular adjective we're learning. Chicago is farther than Detroit from New York. Next example. Barcelona is further than Athens from Tokyo. So remember, farther and further are the same. Next example. Pluto is the farthest planet from the sun in the solar system. All right, let's see how we can use the best, the worst, and the farthest or the furthest in the superlative form. Practice again. Linda, where are the best beaches in the world?
The Riviera beaches are nice, and Turkey has nice beaches, but I think the best beaches are in Hawaii.
Oh, okay. I'm surprised. You didn't say Ibiza. Okay, Sylvia, what do you think is the farthest place from the South Pole on Earth?
That's easy. The North Pole is the farthest place on Earth from the South Pole.
Okay, you are very good at geography, Sylvia. Alberto, what is the best city in the world?
Well, I love Paris, I love Copenhagen, but I am from Italy. I love Rome, I love Venice, I really love Florence. I think Florence is the best city in the world.
Okay, good answers, everyone. So let's quickly review the superlative forms with one-syllable words. Okay, don't forget, most one-syllable words add EST to the end. Okay, follow along. Look at these examples. Toronto is the largest city in Canada. Next example. The pyramids are the oldest buildings in Africa. Another example. Anita is the smartest girl in her class. All right, now some adjectives have a special spelling in the superlative form. Take a look at these examples. Texas is the hottest state in the U.S. So remember, you have to double the T and then add EST because of the vowel and the consonant at the end. Next example. Joshua is the thinnest boy in the club. So two N's before EST. Next example. Cairo is the biggest city in Egypt. So we need to add another G to big before EST. Okay, we also should review the irregular adjectives in their superlative form. Again, take a look at your screen. She thinks Thai food is the worst food in the world. So not the baddest, but the worst food. Next example. Alberto thinks Florence is the best city in the world. Next example. Hawaii is the farthest or the furthest state from Maine. All right, good. Now it's time to look and listen.
Look and listen.
Chile is the longest country in South America. Mount Everest is the highest mountain in the world. Mount Kilimanjaro is the highest mountain in Africa.
Read and repeat.
Now it's time to learn superlatives for adjectives with 2 or more syllables. So remember, in the comparative form, for these adjectives we used more, right? Plus your adjective, plus than. Okay. In the superlative form we use the most plus your adjective. Okay, or less plus your adjective plus than. Opposite of the most would be the least plus your adjective. So let's review this information on your screen. We use more than in the comparative form, and in the superlative form we use the most. We use less than in the comparative form, and in the superlative form we use the least. Now, let's look at some examples. Berlin is the most exciting city in Germany. New York City is the most popular city in the United States. Algebra is the least exciting subject for my sister. So does everyone have a pretty good idea of how to use superlatives?
Yes, they're easy. I'm the nicest student here.
You're right, Alberto, but I'm the smartest student here.
I am the biggest student in here.
Very good, everyone. Linda, what is the most beautiful city in Europe?
I'm from Spain. Madrid is beautiful. Seville is beautiful. There are beautiful cities in other countries. Vienna is beautiful. I think Paris is the most beautiful city in Europe.
All right, thank you, Linda. I agree. Sylvia, what do you think is the most important city in the U.S.?
Well, New York is important, Chicago is important because it is in the middle of the country, Los Angeles is important because Hollywood is there, and I think Washington, D.C. is the most important city in the United States because the president lives there.
Very good, Sylvia. Alberto, what do you think is the most interesting museum in the world?
I don't know. The Metropolitan Museum of Art in New York is very interesting. I think the Louvre in Paris is the most interesting. The Mona Lisa is there.
Great, thank you, everyone. Now, the most interesting thing for us to do now is to look and listen.
Look and listen.
What is the largest country in the world?